there's always one or two names that don't have the real names on, and I always wonder, like, where did that name come from? I won't mention any. I love to hear the stories behind these things. Maybe after class. Okay, I'm just muting the last couple that weren't muted. And let's take a seat on our bums, please, on the mat. You're also very welcome. You're also very welcome to be on your shins, sitting down onto your heels. That's completely up to you. Okay, sweet. Let's do it, guys. Okay, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome, if I haven't greeted you yet, if you've just popped in the last couple of minutes. So let's get started. Seated, or you can be on your knees. I don't mind at all. You can even lean against something if you like. That's completely up to you. Just trying to get your spine up as tall as you can and balancing out the weight distribution throughout your hips and your bum. Okay, so if you feel that you're leaning too much to one side or the other, then just trying to find a bit of a balance between the two. And then really feel like you're using your deep tummy muscles to anchor yourself down into the floor with your sit bones and your pelvis. And let's just try and get that sensation for a moment. Imagine that you're trying to squeeze your pubic bone and your belly button closer together, and then actually trying to draw those muscles down into the floor and feeling that you're nice and grounded. And now keeping that bit of activation that you've got into the belly, start to breathe a little bit more into your stomach. So if you feel that you're breathing a lot with your shoulders and your chest, try to relax your shoulders, breathe into the belly and the rib cage. Just check in with yourself, trying a few of those concepts or a few of those techniques for a bit. You can close your eyes if you haven't already. Breathing into the belly. And seeing if you can mostly keep your mouth closed throughout the practice today and keep breathing through your nose. It's going to promote blood flow and oxygen throughout the body. It also calms down the nervous system to do nasal breathing. So as you keep this anchor with your core muscles or your belly, and you continue to breathe nice and deep, try to lift your chest slightly, lifting your chest, feeling how you get a little bit taller up through your spine. And now see if you can really start to smooth out your breath. Long inhales and equal exhales. And we can really use the breath to change our energy levels and mood states. So the breathing has a direct effect on your nervous system. If you're feeling like you need to calm your nervous system down, then really slow your breath down and smooth it out. If you're feeling like you want to energize yourself a bit, then put a bit more effort into your breath and really try to deep breathe a bit deeper, but still keeping it nice and smooth. Trying to find this connection today between our breath and our movements in the true form of vinyasa yoga. So If you feel like you're moving faster than you're breathing, then just slow down your movements a bit. Try to match the rhythm of your breath with the rhythm of your movements. On your next inhale, reach both arms up to the sky, reach up nice and tall. And as you breathe out, just take your hands down in front of you and walk them forward. Take a nice gentle forward fold, relaxing your head down towards the floor. So it doesn't matter if it's not touching the floor. We're still just checking in with the body. See how you're feeling today. What little spots in the body are you maybe a little bit more aware of? Observing any sensations from your movements or your breathing. And really just giving yourself the next hour, 1 hour of your day where you completely try to focus on your breathing and your body and forget about any of the things that you need to do or you think you should have done. Try to just keep yourself in the present with your breath. Gently open your eyes and let's walk the hands closer towards us. Slowly roll yourself up, seated. Reach both arms up to the sky again. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, take one hand down to the sky. So let's take the right hand down. And then the left arm reaches down to the same side. So we're taking a little bit of a twist. Then taking the left arm, swooping around, all the way around towards the left-hand side. And then breathe both arms all the way back up to the sky. Then the left hand goes down, right hand reaches towards the left side. Get a nice side stretch and twist. And then your arm swoops around to the front. Now you can start reaching a bit further forward if you want. And it comes all the way back to its own side here. Breathe in, reach both arms up. And then as you breathe out, right hand down, reach and twist and circle around. Both arms up. Take the left hand down, right arm reaches across, get a big twist. And then circle around to the front. And then back over to the right side. Deep breath in, reach both arms up to the sky. As you breathe out, swoop your arms down behind you, so keep them straight, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and reach your chest forward. So it's almost like you're trying to take a forward fold, but we're not going all the way down. So the crown of the head and the chest reaches forward. Now as I sit up tall, I'm going to swoop both hands back up to the sky. Breathe in, reach it up. And breathe out, swoop the hands back, reach forward. Try to keep the tummy tight, reach the crown of the head forward. Feel some activation into the belly. At the end of the exhale, breathe in, reaching up. Let's do one more. And long exhale, reach your chest forward. And then sitting up tall. Roll over your knees, coming onto your hands and knees, tabletop position or box pose. Really grab down into the floor with your fingers and your palms. Get your knees directly underneath your hips. And just slowly shifting your shoulders forwards and back. Just warming up a bit. For a lot of us, this is probably the first time we're weight bearing on the hands today. So just slowly forwards and backwards. You can even start to go a little bit from side to side if you want. Just doing a bit of research in the wrists, see what they feel like today, the different corners and angles. Okay, and then finding a neutral position, so equal pressure through your hands and knees. Take a deep breath in, belly down to the floor, reach your chest forward, push your bum up to the sky, so arch the back for cow pose. As you breathe out, squeeze your bum, pull your chin to your chest, or cat first. Ride your inhale all the way through to cow. And a long exhale takes you all the way to cat. Now keep going on your own. Riding your own breath, your own rhythm of movements. Now you can see I've got my toes curled under behind me, just because I like to stretch into the feet a bit, but you can keep them relaxed down, or you can curl the toes under, up to you. Now let's start to get a bit of movement. So as you sit your bum down towards your heels, we're arching the back, actually pressing your hands into the floor. And then as you come forward, come through cat. So shift your weight forward, squeeze your bum, pull your chin to your chest, bring your shoulders past your wrists, and then to take you back, arch into your cow, let your hips lead you back, squeeze your shoulder blades down towards your heels. So now get a bit of a rhythm going. So exhale, rounding the back, pulls you forward, and then arching the back, the hips pull all the way towards the heels. Do a couple more of these. There's no right or wrong here. We're just sort of playing around with these different angles and positions for the spine. You can even start to bend into your elbows a bit more, especially in this forward position, to help push you back. One more time. And really going slow and strong. And the next time your bum comes down towards your heels, holding it there, start walking your hands a bit further forward. Coming into a child's pose variation. Again, you can have your toes curled under if you want a bit of a stretch into your feet, or you keep your feet just released down onto the floor. Take your chest down towards the floor and relax your forehead down for a moment. This is a really grounding position. So anytime during class you want to rest, come down into child's pose. It's a good option. Look forward between your thumbs. Grab your hands down into the floor. And as you come forward, arching through that cat position, so rounding the back, squeezing the bum, come into a sort of low plank position. So from my knees all the way up to my shoulders, I've got a nice straight, strong line. Take a deep breath in. As we exhale, I want you to keep your elbows close to your sides. Lower yourself down like a push-up, but just go as deep as you're comfortable. Push yourself back up and curl yourself back to child's pose. Looking forward between the thumbs. Breathe in, roll forward. Breathe out. Lower yourself down just to halfway or to wherever your edge of your push-up is, and then sit yourself all the way back to child's pose. Rolling forward, let's change it up a little bit now. So once you get your shoulders over your hands, engage the belly, reach your left leg out behind you, okay? If you battle to keep your left foot off the floor, you can keep the toes on the ground, but really work with the left bum. See if you can lift the left leg up. If this is enough for you, you can wait here. Otherwise, challenge yourself a bit by going down into a bit of a push-up. Keep the left leg up and push yourself up. Place the left knee down. Sit your bum down into child's pose. Nice. Roll forward, coming into our low plank. Engage the belly, engage the bum. Lift the right leg away from the floor. Either toes stay on the ground or it's lifting up. Stay nice and active. Option to push up, lower down just to your edge, pushing all the way back up. Place the knee down, sit down to your child's pose. Nice. We're going to take one more on each side of those. So inhale, roll forward, lifting the left leg up away from the ground, squeeze the bum. On your next exhale, taking a push-up, but it's optional. Sit your knee down and then sit your bum back to your heels. One more on the right side. Roll forward. Engage the bum, lift the leg up, squeeze, and lead with your chest on the way down, and lift yourself back up. Place the knee down, sit back to child's pose. Just moving around a bit in child's pose, sway your hips and your shoulders from side to side. Feeling a bit of an opening into the side body. Especially when you lean to the right, you might feel the right side stretching a bit more. And then the same goes for the left. Coming back up onto your knees. Curl your toes under behind you. Press your chest away from the floor, so really get nice and engaged into the upper body. Float your knees away from the floor. Feel that engagement into the entire body. And then step your feet back to high plank. Getting a nice straight body from the heels all the way up towards the shoulders. Now stepping your feet quite wide, so you can step your feet so that the mat basically cuts the middle of your toes. All right, so your foot is half on and half off of the mat. And then lift your hips up to down dog. So it's a wide-legged, downward facing dog. And bend one knee, shift your weight to the same side as the bent knee. And then swaying your hips to the other side. So bending and shifting the weight towards that side. So I'm going to go over to the left knee bends. And I straighten the right leg. Shifting my weight to the left. And then over to the right side, right knee bends, left leg straightens. Feeling a bit of a stretch into the inside of the straight leg. Nice. Now let's get an equal downward facing dog, but legs are still nice and wide. Bend your knees, look forward between your hands, okay? And you can either hop like a frog or step your feet to the outsides of your hands. Keep your fingers down on the ground. Lift your chest and just start to move around a bit in your squat. So you can keep your hands down or you can bring them up to your chest if you like, to prayer pose. Just start to move around in the hips a bit. I'll show you a little bit from the side. See if you can keep your feet flat. So if that means you need to come up a bit, that's perfectly fine. Just moving around into the hips. And keeping it quite active so that you're not sagging all the way down. Keep the chest up. There, find some stillness now in your strong squat position. Place both hands to the floor. Step your left foot back onto the mat. Lower the left knee down, release your foot. And then reaching the right arm up to the sky. Take a nice twist. You can even look up towards the right thumb if you like. If you want to, you can reach back behind you, getting a bit more of a twist. And if you're ready and you're feeling warm enough, you can bend the back leg and grab the foot as well if you like. But we're still priming the body, still warming it up. If you've got the back foot, release. Bring your hand back down to the floor. Curl your back toes under, straighten the back leg. And step your front foot back into that wide-legged down dog position. Bend your knees, look forward between your hands. Now, if you did a step, maybe see if you can do a hop, but land as soft as possible into the squat position and moving around a little bit. So, of course, if the hop or the jump seems a bit out of reach at this point, just step. It's only options. Okay, hands to heart center, moving around a bit. For the last couple, hands down to the floor. Step your right foot nice and far back. Lower the back knee, release your back foot. Left arm reaches up to the sky. So in any of these lunge positions, the back leg, you can squeeze that butt and push your hip forward, and you'll feel a lot more of a stretch in the front of the hip, which is what we're going for. Some deep breaths. Maybe circling your arm back behind you if you like, getting a bit more rotation into the upper back. You can also curl the back foot up if you want to. Every now and again, just checking back in with the breath. Release your back foot, circle the top hand to the floor, straighten the back leg, and step your left foot back into your high plank position. So let's bring the feet a bit closer together now for our sort of normal or traditional high plank position. Lower your knees down to the floor, release your feet behind you, and now lower yourself all the way down to the floor. Try to get your chest to touch the floor just before your hips. Then keep your hands soft on the floor, lift your chest, squeeze your upper back for cobra. Now cobra could look like this, or it could look any of these positions or variations. That's completely up to you. Then we'll lower down to the floor. Use the strength of your arms and your core to press yourself up. Don't leave your hips behind. Curl your toes under behind you. Sit back to child's pose for a moment. And then lift your hips up to down dog. So that was the first option of the vinyasa. Option 2. So it's an option. You can either do option 1 again or follow me with option 2. Roll forward to high plank. Either taking your knees down or follow me for option 2. Lower down to halfway. Then mostly straightening the arms out, flip to the tops of the feet for upward facing dog. So at this point, my hips are floating off the ground and I'm trying to extend my chest forward, not arch the lower back. Then chin to chest, lift the hips back, squeeze the belly, and then flip one foot at a time to come into downward facing dog. Getting a nice strong down dog. Guys, let's do one more. Any option, it's up to you. Breathe in, roll forward to high plank. Breathe out. Either lower down halfway or take your knees down and lower all the way to the floor. Inhale for up dog or your cobra with the hips down. Exhale to bring the chest down to the floor. Press yourself up and lift your hips back to down dog. Taking about 3 deep breaths in down dog before we get going on the flow. Bring your feet a bit closer together, so a little bit closer than you might do your normal downward facing dog. And let's float the right foot up to the sky, but take it straight out to the back, squeezing your right butt. And we're not going to open up the hip today, so we're getting a bit more strength into the hips, trying to keep the hips level to the ground. Come up high onto your left toes. Pull your right knee in towards your chest, flex your foot, coming forward to plank. Squeeze, try and get some space to then step your right foot between your hands. Take your fingers forward slightly. Keep a deep bend into the front knee and float the back foot away from the floor. Yeah, so you can do any variation with this leg. So it could be still touching the ground or it could be up to the sky. That's up to you. You can either wait here with your hands or you can start to stand yourself all the way up. Keep the balance. Coming into your standing balance with the left leg now bent in front of you. You can still wait on the ground where we were. Now very slowly thread this leg back. Step it as far back as you can into your lunge. Take both hands down to the floor. Breathe in, step your right foot back to high plank. As you exhale, either knees down or lower to halfway as you exhale. Inhale, lift your chest. And exhale, pressing back to down dog. So find your rhythm. It might be different to mine. That's perfectly fine. Left leg lifts straight up to the back, squeezing the left bum. Come up high onto the right toes. Pull your left knee to your chest, find some space. Step your foot between your hands. Get nice and light onto the back leg. Shift your weight into the front leg and maybe lifting the back leg up. Remember, if you've got the back toes down, that's fine. You can still stand up all the way to the top and then bring the right knee up to the chest. So there's lots of options here for you. Find the one that challenges you nicely. Now slowly thread the right leg back, stepping it into your lunge, hands to the floor. Inhale, step the left foot back. Exhale, take your vinyasa. Follow your breath. Find your rhythm. You don't have to wait for my cues, but you can watch the screen if you need to see where to go next. And meeting back in down dog. Right leg rises up. Come high onto the left toes. Squeeze the knee into the chest, stepping forward. Lifting the back leg up or keeping it down. But let's get all the weights into the front foot. Slowly standing all the way up. Or waiting with your hands down on the floor. Slowly stepping the left foot back. Reach your arms up to a high lunge. So when we look at the front leg, you want the knee in line with your front foot. Breathe. 2 more breaths here. Feel the legs working. Keep a lot of the weight into the front leg as well. Take your hands down to the floor. Breathe in, right leg steps back. Breathe out. Lower yourself down, nice and slow. Slow is strong. Inhale, chest comes up. And exhale, start pressing yourself back to down dog. Left leg goes straight out to the back. Come high onto the right toes. Step your foot between your hands. Either wait in here or lift the back leg up. And slowly standing yourself up. Lead with your chest. All the way up to balance. Slowly bend into the standing leg. Feed your leg back into the lunge. Arms reach up to the sky. Taking about 5 breaths here. Let's bend a bit more into the back leg. Squeeze your bum and pull your ribs down. Then straighten the back leg a bit more and feel how that works into the hips quite a bit more. Takes you out of your lower back. Take your hands down to the floor. Inhale, step the left foot back. Exhale, slowly move into your vinyasa. Use your vinyasa as the time that you just collect your breath again, collect your rhythm if you feel like you're losing it a bit. Right leg lifts up. Step the right foot forward. Either weight in here or lift the back leg up. Slowly make your way all the way up to standing. Feed the left leg back, nice and slow. Take your time into your lunge. Arms reach up to the sky. Spin your back foot flat, open to warrior 2. Get nice and deep into the front leg. Looking out over the front fingertips, soft shoulders. You're going to add another one straight away. Keep the arms as they are. Stay low with the hips. And lunge down into the back leg like a surfer lunge. Okay, so your legs and your arms are at the same angle. Get nice and deep into the back leg. Feel the stretch onto the inside of the front leg. Then your front hand is going to lead to take you back forward into your warrior 2. Circle both hands down to the floor. Inhale, right foot steps back. And exhale, find your flow. Lower down. Breathing in, lifting the chest. And breathing out, taking you back to down dog. Left leg straight up. And stepping it forward with control. Either staying here or lifting the back leg up. Slowly take your time coming up to standing. Keeping the spine nice and long. Slowly stepping all the way back. Reach your arms up to the sky, high lunge. Open up to warrior two. Keep the arms as they are and slowly shifting back towards the right foot. And we slightly change the angle of the arms. Try and get as deep as you can into this right leg, but keeping the chest up as much as possible. 2 more breaths. Now the left hand reaches forward, bend back into the left leg, and then circle both hands down to the floor. Inhale, step the left foot back, and exhale, ride your breath all the way down. Keep it going, keep it flowing. Right leg lifts up to the sky, stepping forward between the hands, lifting the back leg up, standing all the way up. Take your time. There's going to be some wobbles, there'll be some falling over, but that's all part of it. Feed the left foot back. When you're there, reach your arms up to the sky. Spin open to your warrior two. Keep the arms out, shift your weight back, taking your lunge into the back leg. The front foot can turn slightly if it's a bit more comfortable. Keep both feet grounded. Now we're going to reach forward, bend deep into the front leg, reach forward as far as you can, flip your front palm over, and reverse warrior. The front arm stays straight. You can look up towards the fingers if you like. And the back hand can be lightly on the back leg or wrap it around, trying to find the front hip. Taking some deep breaths, getting a good opening down the whole right side of the body. Cartwheeling both hands all the way down to the floor. Deep inhale, stepping back. And you know where to go, follow your breath for your vinyasa. Left leg goes up to the sky, stepping forward with control. Right leg comes up, slowly lift yourself up to standing, whatever that looks like, wobbly or not. Step the right foot far back, reach both arms up to a high lunge, open up to warrior two. Stay deep in the hips, shift your weight into your right leg, coming into that deep lunge. Now using the left hand, reach forward as far as you can, bend into the front leg, which is the left, reach it forward, flip your palm over, and take a reverse warrior. So the left arm is up to the sky, right hand down the back leg, or wrap it around if you want. The main thing is getting that opening down the whole left side of the body. Breathe. One swift movement takes both hands down to frame the front foot. Inhale, left leg goes back. Long exhale, ride it all the way down. Deep inhale, like you're coming up out of water, taking a big breath. And exhale, back to down dog. Guys, we've got one more left on each side. Hang in there. Right leg goes up. Stepping straight forward between the hands. Shift your weight forward, lift the back leg. Slowly coming up to standing. Feel the strength in that standing leg. Reach the floating leg all the way back. Into your lunge, reach the arms up. Open up to warrior two. Stay low, shift the weight all the way back. Like surfs up. Now use the front hand. Reach as far forward as you can. Reach, reach, reach. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior. Maybe looking up towards the top fingertips. Keep the front leg bent. Bring your right forearm onto your thigh, or you can take the hand down to the floor. With the left hand, circle it down to the floor and spin your rib cage open as much as you can. Reaching your arm up next to your ear. So it's a long line from the back foot all the way up to the top hand. Find length all the way down. Take your left hand down to the floor on the inside of your foot. Spin to the ball of the back foot. Reach your right arm to the sky. Try to feel that your hips aren't sagging down. Lift them up with the tummy muscles. And see how light you can get on this bottom hand. Get the work into your hips. Maybe looking up to the top hand. Take your top hand down to the floor. Deep breath in, stepping back. Deep breath out. Everything goes out on the way down. Long inhale, lifting the chest, finding length. And long exhale, getting you back to down dog. Here we go, last one on the left. Left goes up, steps forward. Float the back leg if you want. Standing all the way up if you want as well. Slowly feed the right leg back. Both arms up to the sky. Open to warrior two. Stay low, stay deep. Surfs up all the way down into this deep lunge. Use the left arm, reach forward as far as you can. Flip the front palm. Reverse warrior. Stay bent into the front leg. Left forearm onto left thigh, or the hand down to the floor. Swoop your right hand down. Spin your rib cage and your upper body open into your extended side angle. From the back foot, remember, finding length all the way up to the top fingertips. Maybe the bottom hand is down, but keep opening up the whole upper body. Take the top hand down to the floor. Spin to the ball of the back foot. Reach your left arm to the sky. Get super light on the bottom hand. Strong in the hips. And breathe. We're here for 3 more breaths. And take the top hand to the floor. Inhale, step back, and make it a strong, long exhale for the last vinyasa of the flow. Keep it going all the way back to down dog. Once you've established a really strong down dog, slowly bring your knees down to the floor. Taking child's pose, or just taking a rest in any position that you like. Maybe have some water if you want. Shake out the arms. Taking a few maybe extra deep inhales and let it out with an exhale, like a sigh or two. I can definitely feel my heart rate went up there a little bit. Don't know about you guys. Okay, shake the hands out one more time. Coming into tabletop on the hands and knees. And if you look down where your hands are, where the palms are, they should be directly underneath your shoulders. Then take your elbows down to replace your palms. So the forearms and elbows are down. And if your hands are coming closer together, try to pull them apart so that your forearms are parallel, like you're making number 11 on the floor. Grip down into the floor with your hands. Press your chest away from the floor. Engage the belly and float your knees up away from the floor. Keep pressing your chest. So you're trying to get away from your elbows constantly. Keep the tummy engaged. And then start to lift your hips up to the sky. As you do that, try to press your chest through your shoulders, looking towards your knees. Try and keep your head as far as you can away from the ground. If you've got some space, you can step your feet closer towards your elbows and straighten your legs a bit more. It's quite a challenging position, so don't worry, you're not doing anything wrong. It's just really tough. Hips up, press your chest towards your knees, and then slowly bring your knees to the floor, release your feet, keep your elbows where they are, and just sit back into a sort of forearm child's pose. Just give the shoulders a little rest for a moment. We're going to do a bit more hard work in that position. So that's called dolphin pose. We're going to do a few variations of that. Really good for core strength, upper body strength, shoulders come forward, shoulders over the elbows. Press your chest away from the floor. Float the knees up and away from the ground. Lift your hips up, press your chest through. You're trying to look towards your knees. Now shifting the weight into your right foot. Lift your left foot away from the ground. If you can hold this position, then maybe challenge yourself by lifting the left leg all the way out to the back. So you're squeezing the left butt. Keep pressing your chest towards your right knee. Looking through your arms. Squeeze the left bum one more time. Slowly bring the left foot down to the floor. Shift the weight into the left foot. Lift the right leg up. Either just floating it away from the floor or straighten all the way to the sky. Squeeze and lift the hips. Press the chest through. One more good squeeze. And slowly bring your foot down to the floor. Slowly bring your knees down. Sit back into this child's pose variation. Shake out the shoulders a bit. Maybe move your head around a little bit. It's quite tough to not get the neck to do a lot of work. So try to focus on your shoulders and your shoulder blades and try not to shrug the shoulders up towards the ears. So the idea is to pull your shoulder blades almost down and away from your ears. Okay, one more variation. Hands, forearms grounded. Bring your shoulders over your elbows. Curl the toes under. Float the knees up, lift your hips up to dolphin. Keep pressing the chest towards the thighs. Lift your left leg up to the sky, get it nice and straight. Now, as a variation, you can either wait here or you can try and float the right knee down close to the ground. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. Then press yourself all the way back up. We're going to do 2 more of those. Otherwise, just holding this position. Bring your chest forward, look between your thumbs, float your right knee away from the ground. Push yourself back up. Look to your knee. One more time. Float the knee close to the ground. And then press yourself back up. Bring the left knee down to the floor, the left foot. Keep both knees up. Lift your right leg up. Shift your weight forward, float your left knee away from the ground, look between the thumbs. Push yourself back up, straighten both legs. Shift your chest forward, bend into your left knee, hover it off the ground, and push up to the sky. One more time, float the knee, keep the right leg straight at the back, and straighten both legs, lift your hips up to the sky. Slowly bring the right foot down, bring your knees down to the floor, and take a child's pose. So I'm sure there was a lot of work into the shoulder there, or both shoulders. It's quite tough to be in that position, put in so much work, and then you feel like the breathing is more and more difficult as well. Well done, guys. Any variation of that would have gotten you a lot stronger into the shoulders and the core. Just take your head down to the floor and roll it around a few times. Just massaging your forehead and loosening up the neck a little bit. And then making your way all the way up, coming to an upright kneeling position. So bring your knees directly underneath your hips. So these hip bones in the front, if you push onto the front, try to get your knees directly underneath those. And then curl your toes under behind you. In a moment, you'll find out if you are happy with releasing your feet down, you can do that. But let's start with the feet curled under. Take your hands into your low back with your fingers pointing down. Really grab into the low back, squeeze the top of your bum with your fingers. Engage into the bum. Pull the ribs down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. So you've got this really strong plank with the entire body. And then start to lift your chest up to the sky. Push your hips forward. Maybe even looking up to the sky. You can even lean back if it feels good. And then pull yourself all the way back up. So that there's no leaning back, no arching. So if you're comfortable with that and you want to take it a step further, you're going to reach the left arm back to the left heel. Otherwise, repeat that same back bend. So engage everything, push the hips forward, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Now start to reach your left arm back behind you, getting a bit of rotation, and take your left hand down to cup the left heel. Now you can lean into the left heel a bit, but stay really engaged into the whole body. Keep reaching your chest up to the sky. If you're comfortable in this position, you can take your right hand down, find the right heel, and keep pressing your chest forward and up to the sky. If you want to, you can start to lift your gaze and look up to the sky for your camel pose. Now when you need to come out of it, shift your weight into one of your hands, release the other hand, and then slowly coming up. So we're coming to the side first. Good job. Shake it out a bit. So again, either repeating just the back bend with the hands in the low back, or we'll take the right hand down first and then into camel. So if that felt very easy for you and you want to take it a step further, you can release your feet down behind you, flat onto the floor. Okay. Otherwise, keep the toes curled, engage the body, squeeze the ribs down, lift the chest. Slowly reach with the right hand to grab the right heel. Get a strong base. Stay engaged and slowly finding the left heel with the left hand. Keep squeezing your bum, pushing the hips forward. Reaching the chest up to the sky, taking a few deep breaths, and when you're ready, shift the weight into your right hand, roll to the right side, and then use your core to lift yourself all the way up. Good job. Take the hands to the floor, pitter-patter your feet behind you, giving them a bit of release. They worked hard as well with that one. Good. And then crossing your legs, sit down onto your bum. Step your feet out in front of you. Now reach your hands out in front of you. Get really strong into the core. Squeeze your belly. And start to reach your hands forward, but start to lean back with your upper back and your chest. And the more you lean back, the more you'll feel the need to engage the belly. If at any point you're feeling some back pain, then keep yourself up slightly. Squeeze. And now slowly lower yourself down. You can use your hands on the floor if you want to, but use the tummy mostly. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze as slow as you can until the lower back is on the floor, but the shoulder blades stay up. Bring your palms together. Keep squeezing. And lifting both shins up so that they're level with the ground. Keep squeezing nice and tight. Good. Squeeze up a little bit more. Reach your fingers towards your toes. Now straighten the left leg so that it's at basically a 45-degree angle to the ground. Take your hands over to the outside of your right thigh. So we're crossing over the midline. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, crunch up. Try and reach your fingers across towards the right-hand side of the room. And come back to center. Back over to the right, crunch up, squeeze the belly. Come back to center. One more time, cross over, squeeze the belly. Going back to center, change legs. Left leg bends, right leg goes straight. Hands over the left thigh. As you exhale, squeeze and crunch up. Try and get both shoulders away from the floor. Come back to the center. Cross over to the left, squeeze up. Come on, I know it's burning, hang in there. Lower down, back to center. And last one, squeeze up, across to the left. Come back to center. Pull both knees into your chest. And rest your head down for a moment. Roll your head from side to side. Just giving the knees a bit of a hug in towards the chest. Take a few breaths, feel the work in the core and the belly. Engage into your belly. Lift your upper back and shoulders away from the floor. Now bringing your hands to clasp behind your head and try to open your knees up so that you're coming to butterfly position. Okay, so that looks like open knees, soles of the feet together, and you're constantly drawing your knees away from each other. Hands behind your head when you're on the way down. As you come up, squeeze your belly, reach your hands towards your toes. Squeeze up. As you come down, bring your hands behind your head. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out for 6. Breathe in, coming down. Breathe out for 5. Slowly coming down. Keep the legs up. Breathe out, 4. Slowly down. Breathe out, 3. Down. Breathe out, 2. Down. And 1 more, come up. And let's hold for 3 breaths. 1. Keep lifting. 2. And 3. Pull your knees into your chest. Take your head down to the floor. Roll your head from side to side. Take a couple deep breaths. Now we've really started from here on to down regulate the body. Relax completely. Keep the lower back flat into the ground. Straighten your left leg all the way down onto the mat. And try to keep that bottom leg, the left one, straight and tight. Take your right arm to the ground next to you. Keep holding your leg with your left hand and guide your right leg across your body, coming into a supine twist. So the main thing here is that the right shoulder and upper back stays flat on the floor. Don't worry about whether or not this leg touches the ground. Just feel the twist into your back and your hips. Using your breath, just negotiating some space in your body, not trying to force anything. Really just breathing, and your body will let you know if it wants to go a little bit further. Keep this twist with your body. If you want to, you can bend the bottom knee and pull your left heel towards your left bum and use your right hand to try and grab onto the bottom foot. Okay, so we're getting into this really sort of twisted cook sister type of position. And I think it's called cat's tail. So it's like you're grabbing your tail down behind you. And this can also help you to twist a little bit more. And it stretches into the left quads and hip flexors. If you've got that bottom foot, release it down, straighten your left leg, and pull yourself back up to center. Get the lower back flat on the floor. Pull your left knee up to meet the right. Straighten your right leg all the way down onto the mat. Get a good position with the left hip. And then take your left arm down to the side, guide your left leg over. I like to just reposition my hips towards the left side, so it gives me a bit of space to twist. Taking the left leg down towards the right side. So if you've got some space in your body, you can bend that bottom leg, curl it up nice and high, and then reach down, grab the foot. So you're grabbing your right foot with your left hand. Release the bottom foot if you have it. Straighten the leg out. And then pulling your low back flat. Pull your right knee up to meet the left. And then taking both elbows to the insides of your knees. Grab onto the front outsides of your feet. Okay, not around the bottom behind the Achilles or the heels, but over the top, over the front. And then take your head down, gently pull your knees down as if you're trying to get your knees to fit into your armpits. And then try to draw your tailbone down to the floor. So if it's lifting up high, try and draw your tailbone down. That's going to get some nice length through the spine. And breathe. This one's called Happy Baby. It also feels nice if you gently pull on one hand at a time, stretching a bit more into the groin and hip, just gently rocking side to side. You can either wait in Happy Baby and enjoy this position, or if you want to get a little bit more of an inversion, you can draw your legs together, take your hands down to the floor, and start to lift your bum away from the ground. You can also use your hands and lift yourself up, just getting the weight onto your upper back and shoulders into any plow pose variation. So I enjoy just hanging out like this, but you can also straighten your legs out and come a bit higher onto the upper back. And as you can hear, it gets a bit compressive into the belly and the chest and the throat. But this is really good for just balancing out any tightness or tension that we hold into the stomach, the chest, or the throat. And now nice and slow to come out of it. Use your belly, use your hands as much as you need to. Slowly lower yourself down. Like you're just unrolling the spine, flat into the ground. Slowly bring your feet to the floor. And then stepping one leg out at a time. And just getting your body in position and ready for your relaxation posture. So it usually takes a couple little wriggles to get the body comfortable. And once you're settled in nicely, take a couple extra deep breaths. And when you breathe out, just let it go. Taking a deep breath in and let it out. Come on, one more time. You're at home, no one there to judge you. Deep breath in and just let it go. Exhale. And now just coming back to a normal rhythm of breathing. And letting go of your control of your breath. So try not to think about how you're doing it, but just let go. Relax into your jaw and your face. Relax your shoulders and your chest. your rib cage and your belly, just relaxing. Relaxing your hips and your butt. Release any tension from your thighs or your hamstrings. Just let your calves and your lower legs hang heavy down onto the mat. And the feet are just relaxed and flop into whichever angle they're comfortable in. Your arms are hanging heavy down into the ground. And then once again, bringing your focus back to what your breath feels like. Not worrying about any control over the breath, but just feel it. Observing and feeling each moment of each inhale and each moment of each exhale. Now start to listen to any ambient sounds around you. Maybe there's some music being played somewhere, or you can hear some birds, or dogs barking, or cars. And then just listen to that sound, and then in the very next moment, that sound has disappeared. And now just start to move your body slowly, however you want to. So that might be your arms, your wrists, your feet, your legs, your shoulders, whatever feels good for you. And then take a big full body stretch, reach your arms up above your head, open your mouth, and really stretch your jaw open as much as you can. Like you're taking a big yawn. And then pull your knees in towards your chest, slowly make your way onto the side of your body. Just taking 3 long, slow, deep breaths in this position. It's really grounding. And just take a moment here to say well done to yourself. Thanking yourself for the time and effort that you've put in. You could have done anything else, but you chose to do this. The healthy option, the growing option. Press yourself all the way up into a comfortable seat. Sitting up nice and tall. Let's take a deep breath in, reach your arms up to the sky. Bring your palms to touch and then slowly float your hands down. Bring your thumbs down past your nose, your mouth, until your hands settle onto your chest. And then taking a little bow down to the front. I want to thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a lucky evening. Stick around for a bit afterwards if you want to chat. Switch your microphone on if you want. Otherwise, have a great evening. Well done, everyone. Yeah, guys, cool. You're welcome. Orlandi, always good to check you, man. Thanks so much. Thanks, Trudy. Awesome. Carla, you're welcome. Thanks so much. Nicolas, you too. Au revoir. Always with the French. I love it. It keeps me on my toes. Ali, thank you. Fidu, thanks you guys. Hey, have a great evening. Inga, Lydia, thank you. Cool. Tian, great to see you again, man.
Same here.
Hey, Tian, how's it?
Good in yourself.
Good, man. What, Werner? More a dung beetle than a dolphin on this side. Don't worry. I also feel like a dung beetle. That actually should be called a dung beetle. It's more appropriate a position, I think. Cool, Eileen. Gonna feel the tummy tomorrow? Well, I hope so, because that was that was the point. So I hope you feel your tummy tomorrow and think of me.
And the shoulders, well, you see.
And the shoulders. I'm gonna feel my shoulders for sure, definitely. Philip, I like how you demo left and right side, makes it easier to follow. Do you mean when I turn around, Philip? Is that what you mean? I think that's what you're talking about. But thanks anyway. That's the point.
Learn that when you're doing the child's pose, are your knees together or are they apart?
So it depends what you want out of it. To give you an idea, the difference would be if your knees are together, you'll get a bit more of like a stretch into your lower back and the rest of your spine, because you'll round your back a bit more over your legs. But if you open your knees up, it gives you space between your thighs to try and get your chest and your belly down. Does that make sense?
Okay,
So if you open your knees up a bit wider, you'll stretch a bit more into the hips and you'll get a bit more extension through the spine because you can get your chest towards the floor. Okay.
So it's like cat cow.
Yeah, it's very similar. So do yourself a favor just now and try the different positions and just really feel what the difference is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Philip, I see you. Yeah, you joined
the
party. Nice.
I was going to say thanks. I enjoy the so your demos where you do left and right and you turn yourself around, so I'm able to follow.
Yeah.
Because I'm mirroring you like the whole time, so it makes it a lot easier.
Okay, cool. So that was my idea. Thanks for noticing that. Okay.
No, it's believe me, because I'm copying. I'm like, okay, his right leg is raising. This is going like I'm literally mirroring everything.
Yeah.
So when you switch around, it makes it easier to follow.
Okay, cool. That's awesome because literally when I'm doing it, like when I do this, it's my left hand, but I'll say right because I know.
Yes, and I also picked that up. Yes, okay. Thank you.
That's why sometimes I get confused. I'm like,
there you are on point though. You didn't get it wrong. You were always correct.
Cool. Okay, great. So
really
thanks
you very much.
That's the point. Have a lucky evening, eh?
Thank you.
Thanks.
The rules. We are the rules because my husband likes our rule. Okay. So together
rules
with
the
rules. Thanks for the challenging workout. Okay, I see. Okay, but I still don't know who you are though, the rules. I don't know if they're still on. Who's still on? Yes. TR.
Nikita, I think it's
the rules. Oh, are we getting an appearance from the rules? Is it Nikita? Ah, yeah, it is. What's up? Oh, who is that? It's a bit dark. I can't see nicely. I'm going to unmute you.
Or picture now.
Okay, that's better. How's it?
It's been a while. I'm good.
Yeah, good. Okay, I can see a bit better now. That's.
Sorry.
I just saw like dark hair, and it's like. Yeah. Okay.
Thanks a lot, Rowan.
You're welcome. You're welcome. That's it.
Are you well?
Yeah, I'm cool. How you guys?
Good. Yeah, can't
Good.
complain.
Thanks for the explanation.
Yes, Ja Rule is the like an old school hip hop guy. So
Oh, no.
yeah.
No, don't worry. I know exactly who Ja Rule is.
Do you?
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very much like my old school hip hop. Don't ask me anyone from 2010 until now, but anyone before that, I'll probably be able to tell you who they are. So yeah.
Yeah, the hip hop isn't the same now.
Exactly.
Nowadays the music just isn't the same.
Yeah, I've got like a soft rule. Anything from 2010, I'm not interested in.
Yeah.
unless it's really good. I don't know. I'm still open to it. So
Yeah.
cool.
Okay,
Thank
cool.
you.
Have a good evening.
Yeah, you guys too. Well done, eh? See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Cool.